And welcome back to another episode of Key Factors Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Jones, and we are powered by ReviewMyMortgage.com, the largest index of mortgage programs in the nation. And I've got some pretty exciting news in regards to a new addition to Review My Mortgage that spawned off. We've been talking about it leading up to this discussion. Took 2 months off to complete it and roll it out, but Loanbot is now live on the Apple Store for consumers to download directly. Within the next 30 days, we'll actually be able to start onboarding individual users from the loan officer, real estate, and enterprise level. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to learn more about it, just visit loanbot.com. We also own the trademark on that. So all of you out there trying to use Loanbot, be careful. That being said, I have a guest that it's been a little while. And he was in here the other day and I said, dude, we've got to catch up. There's just so much that has happened. And every time that we meet up, it's like Christmas. So without further ado, let me reintroduce Dylan Shively. Dylan.
What's up, guys? I'm back to talk some shit.
Amen. I love the shit that you talk, my friend. So Dylan, it's been quite some time. You've been, goodness, all over the world in the past several months. There's been some new additions to what you do as a entrepreneur, business mogul, so to speak. Yeah. And I've got some stuff that has been happening, which I mentioned a little bit of it. But I want to start with, for those that are listening that may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So again, my name is Dylan Shively. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I moved to San Antonio back in 2020. That's how we met, right? I started popping up and you got me on the podcast the first time. So thanks again.
Amen.
And I think I was posting a story earlier, by the way. Is this the third or fourth time I'm on, I think?
If I have to guess, I would say this is number 5.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is number 5.
Number 5. So anyway, I have a wife and 3 kids. And from the first time you met them to now, obviously everybody's grown.
Yeah.
Dominic's already 4, Antonio's 10, and Sophia's 14. So like, that's so weird.
It is weird.
But in my spare time, I'm spending time with the family. That's pretty much it. I'm boring. I stay to myself.
Yep.
I like going to the gym. I like doing cool shit with my family because at the other 99% of the time, I'm working.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah.
It's either credit, it's content, it's coaching. I'm doing one of the 3.
That's right. So. And people will say or ask all the time, why do you work so much? Why? And for me, it is, I would like to work for the life that I have.
Yeah.
And I would like to continue to level that life up. Previous discussion we just had with Rory, we were talking about that concept and continuing to level up and getting into different rooms that you may originally never thought you'd be in the room. Mm-hmm. And I was sharing with him the experience that I just went through this past month in the rollout of Loanbot. It was the first time for me that I was CEO of a company that was totally brand new and having others that own businesses in this space that I used to buy products from, mind you, coming up to us saying, holy cow, this is awesome. How can we form partnerships? How can we get integrated with what you guys are doing? You guys mix with ours. And it was almost reassuring that I'm on the right path. But additionally, it showed me that there is no limit to the rooms that you can get yourself into. And what you do when you're in those rooms is what matters the most.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's plenty of people that get into these rooms and don't even realize that they're in the room with greatness sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And they squander that opportunity. And what I mean by that is you could be a fly on the wall, or you can take a risk and ask the questions that are burning in your mind and get some real answers from the people that are willing to share it with you.
Yeah.
So anywho, that being said, Dylan, you've got some new shit going on, man. Yeah. Let's talk about some of that. So in the past, for those that do know, we know that Dylan's got a very successful credit, not necessarily restoration company.
Management.
Credit management. I like that. And has done a great job of scaling that business, has done a great job of automating that business. Tell us about that first.
Yeah. So it's personal credit and business credit. It doesn't matter what's going on in somebody's situation. Mm-hmm. The reason that I coined the term management is because over the years, we don't just help people with fixing their credit, right? So there's different stages. The bulk of the clientele in the beginning was everybody who couldn't get approved and needed help fixing their credit. So got that. But then we started getting introduced to people that are like, hey, I have no credit and I need to build it. Or, hey, I have okay credit and I want to make this move, but I don't know if this is the right move. Like, should I go to the dealership for my loan, right? Instead of going to my bank or credit union. Hey, Dylan, I was thinking about getting this card. Is this a good idea? Right. And so then it became very consultative. And then the last part is we had people on the business side that were like, my personal credit's good and I want to get a business loan, but I don't know what to do or how to do it. Right. And so I wind up becoming the source of, I have a question. Yeah. And one of the things that stood out was when I had somebody who asked me, this was crazy. It was cool. But at first I was like, what? But then I processed it and I was like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. So this girl reached out to me. Dylan, I've been following you for years. And I had a quick question. I made a payment on my credit card yesterday. And I was checking my app and it still didn't like post, like the balance is the same. Can you tell me why that is? And I'm like, I'm not the fucking credit card company. Like, look at the days. It's the weekend and it's probably a business day or two. This is what I'm thinking before I respond, right? Yeah. But then it hit me and I'm like, wait. So this girl that's never DM'd me before has been watching me and has already trusted me enough to say, before I call my credit card company, I'm going to DM this guy on Facebook and ask why this happened. Because I guess she planned on like using the card, thought the money was available and it wasn't. And I'm like, wait, so now I've built enough trust with her that she's like, Dylan's going to have the answer before even reaching out to her own company that would give her the actual answer. Absolutely. And so that's when it hit me. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing a lot more than just fixing credit. So we're helping people fix it. We're helping people understand it. And then now people are staying enrolled because they're using our credit monitoring and they're maintaining what they've built and they're protecting what they've built. So now they have a better score, a healthier report. They qualify for more. They pay less for the things that they want. But more importantly, they understand how to leverage it. Yeah. So it was kind of like a building phase, right? So we fixed everything. That's phase one. Now you graduate to phase two on how can you leverage it to your benefit because you understand it properly. Correct. So that all pulled itself into, no, we're credit management, right? So we're helping people manage because they'll have a question and they're going to run it by us before they even talk to the people who sometimes they should have probably talked to first. So assuming that responsibility and it just being kind of put into my lap, that's where I started adjusting the company to say, well, if I want to serve this person properly, I need to know about this to have the right answer. Amen. And so I'd go and dig into it, make sure I had the right answer. I started getting involved into all of the terms and conditions of different credit card companies. So we're like, Dylan, I was thinking about this Chase thing. And I'm like, did you hear about the 524 rule? And they're like, what? I'm like, well, with Chase, if you have 5 inquiries, doesn't matter what it is in the last 24 months, you can have an 800 credit score, but they're going to deny you. Right. Right. Because sometimes they want to know, well, why is this happening? Or why didn't this happen? So I'm always sourcing the information. I'm always looking for updates. So it has now bubbled itself or grew itself to credit management.
I love the articulation of that in itself. I'm going to add something to it. And this is something that I get from my mentor. Shout out Chad. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Trust Validator. There are people out there everywhere seeking trust validation. And this day and age, as opposed to the past, they are looking at people on social media. They are looking people that are influencers, as opposed to in the past, they'd look to the mainstream media, the newspaper, etc. Those things are kind of becoming extinct to a certain extent. Yeah. But the trust validator is what you've achieved, in my opinion, based on what you just told me, because this in particular lady is reaching out to you, like you said, before she reaches out to the credit card company who actually has the answers if she just called them. Yeah. That in itself, I want you to take us through what it took you to become the trust validator. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So The simple answer is I could say like it took a lot of hours, it took a lot of days and a lot of studying and whatever, but that's obvious.
Sure.
Right. So if you want to be really good at something, we could go down the basics of 10,000 hours and blah, blah, blah. Right. But again, that's surface level. People know that. But
or at least they've read that. You're right. Yep.
But here's some real things deeper than that of what it takes. One, I have to be okay with sometimes I'm going to provide an answer for somebody and that doesn't always equate to a sale. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn how to think about how can I provide value for somebody and not expect a transaction in return. Mm-hmm. And so that took a lot of repetition and a lot of angry conversations with my wife in the beginning.
That's right.
Of like, you're spending all this time. You were just on the phone with an hour for this person. Why did you do it?
Right.
You know, like they didn't sign up. And I'm like, no, but I helped them. And she was like, but I don't get it.
Right.
Right. So it took a lot of those until now, like the life we live is, I believe, the outcome of doing those things.
Absolutely.
So now that we live that life and she sees, the benefits and the work and stuff into it, now, no matter how crazy the idea, she trusts in it because the results are there.
Yes.
Right. So there's a lot of people that speak in theory and what should work, but I only speak about things based on the result that I have. So what it took for me to get there, is like blind faith in a sense and a delusional confidence in myself that I can bring the answer to somebody. I know it's going to bring them the outcome if they follow the blueprint. And if I do that enough times, somebody will be grateful enough to introduce me to somebody that will eventually turn into a transaction. And then I had to increase the amount of volume of how many free things I did for people to hope that I get that referral, which started to happen more and more. And then I'm like, it's working. And then just never stop doing it.
That's right. And I wrote down here lots of free advice.
Yeah.
And it's tough for people to comprehend that idea of giving mm-hmm. without getting anything in return. And I use the concept of making deposits. Yep. Keep making deposits into people. A big thing that we talk about quite often is consistency, because mm-hmm. you have to be consistent with this theory, this concept, this practice.
Yep.
Over time, that then raises your level of not necessarily persona, but the perception of others that that's the person to go to for X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Why? Because I've already seen somebody else give kudos. I saw him on that podcast and he spilled his guts about things he didn't need to.
Yep.
Didn't get paid for it.
Yep.
And he also helped my friend fix their credit. Now they're living in a home and looking at buying an investment property, but it all started with the advice that Dylan gave back in XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's exactly how it works.
It's a tough concept for people to grasp in this market in this day and age, because they're entitled to well, what do you mean I'm going to go take out the trash and I'm not going to get a chore money for it?
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, go take the trash out.
Yeah, because I said so.
That's right.
And it's and sometimes even the advice, I do that for people. I'm like, this is what you do. Well, why should I do it? Well, because I have the result that you want, which is why you asked me.
That's right.
Right. So this is where I go from like, consider the source. If you wouldn't trade your life for theirs, don't take their advice.
Ooh, I like that.
If you don't want to live their life, don't take their advice.
Absolutely. Never take advice from a broke person.
Yeah. You don't take the money advice from the broke person. You don't take the weight loss advice from the fat person. It doesn't matter what they know. It matters what they do.
That's right.
Right. And if they do the things that they claim that they know, then it's going to be undeniable and evident that they have the result. And that's the whole reason you reach out to the person anyway.
That's right.
Right. So, and that's where it kind of like goes into the content just a little bit. Well, not that you have to go flex and show all these things, because if you watch my stuff, I'm not showing cars. I'm not showing the house I live in. I'm not showing any of that. Right. But I'm giving the education and I'm giving a little bit of the entertainment. I'm letting you see who I am and what I do. You know my family, like by the time when people come up to me, they feel like they know me and they'll mention something.
Correct.
I loved when you did this and I loved when you said this and that one post that you made and whatever. And it's like, they know you, right? Well, that's because I let them in, because I feel like that's my obligation in the trust factor of like, I can have all the information in the world, but if you don't like me, you don't like me.
That's right.
So I can show you the proof that my answer is right, but if you don't like me, you're going to say I'm wrong.
Regardless.
Right?
That's right.
So that's where it all boils down to. Like, I need to meet enough people that will like me, that will listen to me. And if I can prove that my answer will give them the result that they want, and then I am living proof of that same outcome,
That's right.
then I'll find those people.
In addition to that, you mentioned something about kind of sharing, and you, similar to me, we share a lot on social media. We're pretty transparent, regardless of the outcome. There is going to be at least one person that is not going to like my post, or be offended by my post, or what have you. But it's not going to change the reason why I posted it. It's not going to change the now, mind you, I've had plenty of people give constructive criticism, and I changes my mind or changes my viewpoint, but by all means, I'm going to be my authentic self without the facade, because at the end of the day, in the end, you're going to do business with somebody that you know, like, and trust. I hope right now that I'm building that trust factor with you by being unfiltered.
Right.
Maybe you like me at a certain point, you know, and by now walking up to me in the store, and I know you get this too. Hey, you're Dylan.
Yep.
You know me. Cool. Yeah, at some point, we're going to do some business together, and I'm going to get an opportunity to prove myself again.
Yep. And here's the thing. So I have a theory on that too. I forgot, I said it the other day. The whole like hater thing, or people that don't like your stuff. I've realized it took me a very long time to get to this phase of understanding it, that it has nothing to do with me. It's not that they don't like me. They don't like that I'm the mirror holding up everything that they're not. That's right. True. So I've been in off of here. I can give you very specific names, because I know you know the people, where when I was first coming around and I was doing stuff for credit, I mean, you see how I dress. I'm shorts and t-shirt. That was when I moved here. I said, the only thing I'm going to do is not wear pants.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen you in pants.
No. And so like I've committed to that. That's what I wanted. Awesome. I didn't want to wear fucking pants. So I'm not going to wear pants. Right. Yes. And so, but where I'm going with it is I started going around certain offices, talking with people, and before they really knew who I was or what I was capable of, I'll never forget how many times I've shaken hands with people on an initial introduction, and they look down and stare at my arm, or they'll look down and they'll stare at my shorts.
That's right.
And then some are even bold enough. They're like, must be nice. Right. We spoke about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Either must be nice, or they'll just directly say like, oh man, I wish I could wear whatever I want to work. And so I've blatantly said, well, that's the difference. I own the company and you work for someone, so I can do whatever I want. Right. And then all of a sudden, guess who didn't get the deal that day? Guess where the meeting ended early.
That's right. That's right.
But it didn't matter, because if the first thing that bothered you so much that you couldn't suck it up and you just have to comment on the appearance when we're not in a place that requires a suit or anything like that.
That's right.
Then like, fuck off.
I agree.
Right. But
I agree.
I've learned that love ain't lies. Right. So, and I learned that from a very good coach of mine, Wes, and he was like, dude, love ain't lies. So I'm not going to lie to you, right? In a way of showing love. I'm not going to say, oh no, that's okay. Or like, I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, you fucking sucked. This is how you need to fix it. And so that direct communication, most people find it offensive because they wish they possessed the capability of being that truthful with people.
Right.
Because truth operates at the highest frequency.
Man. And I think, let's stop there and talk about that for a moment, because I've never had the opportunity to discuss this, and the idea of how someone can trust the thing that you're saying, dress the way that you're dressed, et cetera, and knowing that the advice that you're giving not only is coming from a good place, but it's probably the advice they need to receive. And in many cases, you've heard the saying, well, a true friend tells you the truth no matter what. If you're still sending out pre-approval letters and praying your realtor send you the next lead, you're already behind.
Top producers are winning because they're giving their agents more than just rate sheets and donuts. They're giving them Loanbot. With Loanbot, you can offer realtors a white-labeled, co-branded digital mortgage tool that they send straight to their buyers. It's like giving them a mini loan officer in their pocket. Available 24/7, fully loaded, and branded with your name and their trust. Buyers can self-diagnose, compare loan programs, check real numbers, search properties, and explore down payment assistance without blowing you up at 10 p.m. And the best part? You see everything. Every scenario, every lead, every milestone. You're looped in the whole way. Loanbot isn't a widget. It's the referral machine you've been waiting for. Here's the deal. Your realtors can get it from us directly for $9.99 a month. But it'd be in your best interest if they got it from you. Either way, they're going to get it. white labeled, co-branded, transparent, and more.
Sign up for your demo with our team of innovators.
Yeah.
I don't even know you, and I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
If you're getting offended by somebody giving you some real act right that means well, what does that mean for the rest of the mindset and what you're trying to accomplish?
But yeah, it's a personal development issue.
Yeah.
Right. If you can't, and so there's two parts too, right? To be fair, sometimes there's people that are not qualified to give the advice that are giving the advice. So if we just use like the weight thing, right? Because that's just to the physical appearance, that's the easiest thing to compare. If you got somebody who's 400 pounds telling someone who's 300 pounds that they need to lose weight and that shirt is too tight, right? They're going to get offended by that, but they should be offended by that.
Right.
But in the flip side, if you got somebody who's in really good shape and you're like, hey, I can help you with this. I mean, I can tell by the way that you're just walking through and the energy that you give me that you're not happy with yourself. You don't respect the man you're looking at.
Yeah.
And I can help you do that. Right. Because I was here and this is how I fixed it.
That's right.
You know, just come to the gym with me one day. Right. The advice, the way you give it is different.
Yes.
Right. So if somebody takes offense to that, I'm okay with them being offended because the advice that I'm giving you makes you better. And that's not subjective.
Right.
I've never met somebody who has lost weight that was like, nah, I liked it better when I was fat. You know, I've never,
Good point.
never,
Yeah, good point.
I've never met somebody who got in better shape and regretted it.
Yeah.
Right.
On the money.
So if that can help you, and you know, it'll help your mental health, it'll help your physical health, because ultimately you respect the man that you're looking at in the mirror. When you build that man you admire.
Absolutely.
Right. So if I can help you do that, I'm going to help you do that. And so on the credit side, it's not just the making the numbers go up. If maybe that saves your marriage or that avoids the eviction and now you don't have to list your home and go through all the things, because there's a reason and a story behind it.
Yes, sir.
Right. And the same thing with content. When I'm filming with people, oh, Dylan, was that a good take? I'm like, no, I can tell you were forcing it.
That's right.
And you need to redo it. Right. It needs to come off this way.
Right.
But I'm never going to give the advice without the solution, because there's a difference of, let me just be an asshole to tell you, you know, what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Versus, hey, here's what I kind of saw when you did this. Here's what I do to get around that, because I have that same thing happen sometimes.
Right.
Let's try this and see if this works.
And I think that in itself, that second piece is what the folks receiving this advice in any way, shape, or form or fashion, if the advice stops at the first one of two, let's call it, I'm going to give you this advice, but I'm not going to tell you why or anything else. That can be a little tough to digest, especially for somebody that's not receiving that type of advice directly often.
Yeah.
You tell me something directly, I don't need to ask why.
Right.
You came from a good place. I get it. Why? Right. Because I'm open to constructive criticism from those that are like-minded, same level, etc. Taking it that second step for the person that may have not ever received that kind of truth bomb.
Yeah.
Is what, after giving that second piece to that person, if they still are offended, if they still are that,
personal development issue, they need to fix that.
Amen.
It's because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody gets pissed off because you told them something that wasn't true. If I said something like, hey, man, like, I'm trying to think of a comparison without
like
being
fluff.
like too left field. If I was like, hey, man, you know what? You need to drop at least like fucking 100 and something pounds, dude, because you are way too whatever. You know that that's not
away.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're just like,
thanks,
okay.
asshole.
Right. Like, there's nothing, like if I just said something that was so out of left field and not relevant and you knew wasn't true, it wouldn't offend you, right? But the reason that people get offended is because that there's truth to it.
And it hits home. Yeah.
It hits home because they think it all the time, but hearing it externally means that thing they're insecure about, their insecurities are now out.
Exposed.
Right.
That's right.
And so that's why they get offended.
Man, wow. Wasn't even anything we were planning on talking about today, guys. But hey, when the door is cracked, I'm going to kick it open.
Yeah.
That being said, we're on limited time, so I want to jump into you've transitioned quite a bit. I mean, the last time we spoke, you were building up to something, starting something. Fast forward a couple months, and it's like, holy cow, dude, you've been all around the world.
Yeah.
And doing some things that I don't even think you had on your roadmap.
Not
initially.
even close.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So what he's referencing is the content, right? So I've been behind the camera a lot. Now I've been used to this being on this side of the camera.
Right.
Being on the other side of the camera is completely different. Now there's a whole story behind it, but in effort to save the time, everything happened the exact way that it was supposed to. And by the way, as a tip of advice, every time you think you know exactly what's going to happen or you plan the thing, you didn't. Right. So everything is written for you. And if you lead into that faith of knowing I'm just going to do the things that I'm being told to do and that I feel that I'm supposed to do, you'll go down where you need to go down. Right. Like you're going to go down the path you need to. So credit for the last 9 years, but I've been behind the camera a lot more filming for people.
Right.
I had zero intent of doing that. I've always wanted a media company. I always like doing things like, remember, like social media boot camps, and I would do these events and stuff like that. And I love like getting the pictures and getting the video and showing people how to be confident on camera and build better habits and all of those things. That's always been a core part of me.
Right.
But it was never where I'm actually holding the camera. So one of the things that hit me was I give advice to people about doing things that are uncomfortable and learning and pushing through it anyway.
Right.
But what did hit me was, Dylan, when was the last time you did that? Right. So I never wanted to be like, I used to be in car sales years ago.
Yeah.
And I had this one sales manager, Tom, that would tell me about all the ways he would have done the deal. But the last time he's been on the floor was like 20 years, prior.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't matter.
You're
dude.
irrelevant, brother.
Right. Like, so the point of that is my advice, while still valid, there was no easy way for somebody to go fact check me to find out the last time I've done that.
Right.
Right. So in the middle of between the content side, I got the guys, they came, they started working. And one of the requirements I had was that they had to go to the gym.
Okay.
And if they missed 3 times, it didn't matter, consecutive or whatever. By the 3rd time you missed, you were fired.
Ooh.
Right. So, and that's because when I started losing weight, so I dropped 41 pounds in a little less than 3 months.
Wow.
And obviously I feel great, and I still got more work to do.
Sure.
But more energy, feeling good, looking good, showing up more confident, getting more shit done, made me more productive. I was better at home. I'd have a long day out at work, but then I'd come home and I still had energy. So all the things that were important to me, this helped.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, well, if I can give this gift to other people, I'm going to do it. So that was part of VPM. So it's Vision Partners Media, right? And now it's just my wife and I, right? Again, I'll tell you the story later on, but in effort to save the time, now we're creating content for people, and I would tell people how to show up more confident on camera.
Okay.
And while I was confident on camera, I was almost delusional, because when I look back of how I looked and nobody said anything to me, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's the angle you got, and that's how I look. Nobody said like, hey, dude, you should probably not eat the breakfast tacos at every class.
Yeah.
Like, nobody said anything. Are you fucking? So I got more mad at the people that never said anything to me.
Yeah.
And now that just boiled down into the media side. So how can I tell somebody when the last thing I've ever done that was remotely challenging, where I knew nothing about it? When was the last time I did that?
Yeah.
I even knew a little bit. It's diet and exercise. So it's not something completely new, but you know what was? Being on the other side of the camera. And so when I'd go to all these shoots, I would learn.
Right.
I want to know what's going on. Hey, why are you changing this? What the hell is ISO? Why are you swapping lenses? What is this filter thing for outside? How do you sync the mic up? How do you get audio? And I would learn.
Is that, pause, don't lose your thought, but is that not strange that we were just talking about getting into different rooms and people, there's 2 sets of people. There's people that will find themselves in those rooms. There's technically 3. Find themselves in the room, not even realize what room they're even in, and the moment passes them by. Those that do understand what room they're in, but are too fearful of asking the questions because it might sound dumb, etc. Then there's the others that realize that they're in the room that they're in, and also have enough confidence to ask the questions, as silly as they sound, because there's just like a hunger for the knowledge. And more times than not, when you'd ask those questions, what would that person do?
Yeah. It was just, oh, you just do this. I did this for this reason. I did this for
without hesitation. They're willing to share. If people would be more open, and I'm going to pause to tell you guys, if you would be more open to asking questions that are burning on your brain, if there are, to the people that have done it, been there, more times than not, they're gonna share with you and overly share because they're passionate about it. Anywho,
Yeah.
keep going.
Want to know if you're in the right room? Ask the question and wait for the response.
Ooh,
Right. So
there you
like,
go. Yeah.
if you're in a room full of people and you're asking questions and they're like, really? That's not something for now. And blah, blah. All right, fuck that room. You're in the
That's
wrong room.
exactly
It's a
correct.
very easy indicator. But if you're in a room full of people that you ask a basic question to and they're like, oh yeah, this is how I did it. And this is why I do it. And by the way, if you follow me here, you can message me later and I'll
That's
tell you
right.
more about this. Then you're in the right room.
You found the right room.
Right.
That's right.
So that's how you do it, by the way. So I was never afraid of looking dumb because this was not my first business. Right. And I understood that I had to look dumb before I looked intelligent because I had to fail, then realize a win. And then, okay, now I got to do more of that and less of the things that made me lose.
That's right.
But if I keep doing more things, the scale will start to tilt the other way.
Great point. Yes,
And
sir.
so with content was the same thing. So I knew some basics, but then I didn't even, I'll never forget when I got the camera. One of my guys at the time that was with me had to show me like where the battery went.
Okay.
And how, and I'm like, oh, I need to get, I know an SD card, but like, I need to get why is this one different from this one? Like the dumbest stuff.
But there's so many of those dumb things that make this important thing
Yes.
function.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah. So I knew how to ask the right questions, but then on my own time, I would go and I would research everything.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I just bought this card. Why is this one important? Is there one I know how to ask questions, right? So I'm like, well, is this one the best? Is there one better? What makes it better? Oh, so this card, the reason I got this, even though it has more space, it's slower. So if I'm shooting higher quality footage, it's going to take longer to transfer because of this. Well, if I want something that's faster because I'm shooting this, like my brain starts going.
Yeah.
So then I do my own research because this is not my first business.
Of course.
And I knew that the desired outcome was give people quality content, but also pour into each person that I'm with. Because again, if I could teach them how to think different and have better habits, they're going to show up better on camera.
For sure.
And there's going to be times that they're not going to have me around to do the camera and they're going to be on their phone. But again, if I give them better habits and more confidence, guess what they're more willing to do? Post their own story, make
right.
their own thing. I don't need everybody in the world to pay me, and I don't want to make every single video for every single person.
Right.
I don't. But I like to pass off the things that help me. And I found through content that has done tremendous. And it's almost become like a new addiction.
And it is very relatable to the idea of what it took to become the trust validator
Yep.
in the credit space.
Yep.
You're doing, and you're not rewriting the playbook.
Nope.
You pulled that bad boy back out and went, I know how to do this.
Yep.
Or I don't know how to do this, but I know how to do this, which is asking the questions, failing the right way,
Yep.
not giving up, doing your own research, taking that extra time, not to just trust what was mentioned or trust what was said.
Yeah, go fact check
validate it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's super important to any entrepreneur, startup business, when you have those good intentions. Truly.
Yeah. It's I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'll figure out how to get there. I may have a question or two, but I'll never rely on anybody fully.
Yeah.
As if I would never want any of you to rely on me fully. So like, even when I say things, go fact check what I'm saying. Go validate, because what if what I said, there was some new update that I didn't know about and you found it?
That's right.
But I was able to at least probe the thought process.
Yes.
Because the major problem, if we boil it down to everything, is people don't know how to think for themselves.
Yeah.
So if I could teach
point.
people how to think for themselves, things happen so much better.
And even if it's just an open the door to the concept of thinking for yourself, because
Right.
you're not going to handhold all the way, but
No.
there are nuances or indicators or nuggets along this journey that provoke you to go, okay, I am going to peek in that door.
Yep.
But what opened that door? Well, it was the conversation I had with Dylan that he opened my eyes to the idea of this, and that.
Yeah, there's so many times that it's happened. Hey, Dylan, remember when we were talking about this? Well, look what I did now.
That's
and
right.
Look at this. And I'm like, fuck yeah, keep doing that. That's awesome. And you know how many people I get randomly that will message me just pictures of themselves like, Dylan, I dropped 30 something pounds. Like there's this one dude back from Pennsylvania. He's awesome. Like we were always like kind of cool in the same circle, but
Sure.
we were never super connected like that. At once every couple weeks, I'm getting random photos and videos. But I ask him again, because I know the important question. I know how he looks, and I know it looks good. But I ask him, I'm like, how you feeling, man?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then he's like, dude, I feel fucking amazing because of this and this and this. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like, and I just keep pumping him up.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because, and I'm going to say this as a motivator to those out there to reach out to those that you're following, respect, that encourage you, motivate you in any small way that they have in the past or currently, because that little bit of fuel, I will tell you, we're human too. We have bad days. And when we have those bad days, seeing something like that can pull us right out in an instant. Whereas maybe somebody else that hasn't been through what we have, it takes them a week. Yeah. Maybe they never come out of it. Yeah. But those little nuggets are so important that give us the validation that we're on the right path.
Exactly.
Keep doing the things that we're doing. Keep leading the way. Keep leading by example. Keep giving the free advice.
Yeah, you have to, because there are people, whether you consider yourself a leader or not, or somebody who's, having a lot of people follow, like people get fucked up in social media where they're like, I only got like 10 likes. I only got like 20 likes or whatever. And I'm like, look, those 10 or 20 people, if they were sitting in front of you, you would shit yourself if you had to do a presentation in front of them.
Good point.
Right?
Yes,
so
good point.
Don't discount 10 or 20 people, and all it takes is one to change that person's life.
That's right.
Then you become addicted to the outcome, and you want to help more people like that because more people like that exist.
Amen.
And so you in the business, when people are trying to figure out like, oh, like what's your why and whatever, sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. And you can say, oh, make it about other people. But unless you've actually made it about other people and went through it, there's no way for them to articulate it correctly. I can tell you, when I get those messages, I have down days. Nobody's fucking perfect.
That's right.
I've had at least 3 or 4 people in the last week that I didn't even know were paying attention to me like that have been going to the gym. They filmed their own content, or they used our DIY. So of all the things, like where they're like, oh, Dylan, I just did this because of you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I had no idea
that I had that kind of impact.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And so 9 years later, and I'm still getting surprised by the people that watch, that follow, and that have done something without even saying anything to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's why I still post. Oh, that's why I still show up to that event. Oh, that's why I still do this. Like, it's the good reminder, because it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You're always going to question yourself. You're always going to doubt yourself. You're always going to be like, am I doing enough? Could I be doing more? So-and-so is doing better than me. And so you're always like, looking at that. But then I get the DMs and I'm like, fuck yeah, nobody's better than me. I could do anything, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we've got a short period of time. I don't want you to be late to this next one.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's not surprising to me, but it's impressing me every time that we can squeeze so much valuable content into a short period of time. I mean, this was like bang, 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 knocked out. But before I let you go, I would like you to toot your horn a little bit.
Okay.
There's some folks out there, plenty, that do follow you, that do know about the credit side, that do know a little bit about the videography and the content creation and the DIY stuff that you're doing. How far have you taken that in a short period of time? Tell us some of
what
your
numbers
wins.
do you want? Like
exactly. Let's go.
Like, I mean, clients, we've helped over 18,000 clients, just on the credit side. We have quite a bit that enroll every single month. Again, that's pretty much on its autopilot. If you're talking on the money side, not necessarily
money.
Okay.
Money. We don't need to go there.
Okay. I didn't know which way you wanted me to
we're
go.
Caked up, but at the end of the day, we all still in this room right now take risks with what we do.
Yes.
You risked at least something to start this media company.
Yep.
And the risk in that media company has led you to where in such a short period of time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the connections and the doors and the rooms for the theme of reference, right? The rooms that I've been in, I've filmed music videos. Finding out, I think it's from November 11th to 14th. We're flying out to Vegas to go to the Latin Grammys.
Boom.
Right? So like, and if the
so let me ask you learning some Spanish yet?
Poquito.
A poquito. That's enough.
If this artist, which she's also performing the night before, the night before the Grammys, they have all these parties and stuff. So if she wins one of the Grammys, also my company does too. So my wife and I would go and walk the stage and win an individual Grammy.
How cool.
Right. And so that's fucking awesome. I've met so many artists, so many different business owners.
Yeah.
I was in Alaska a week and a half ago, right?
Yeah.
For a week. Never been there. That was one of the coolest experiences ever. And now I'm learning about different industries outside of real estate and what other people have going on in their world, because, you know, everyone like kind of lives in their own bubble.
For sure.
Right. And like when you go to different industries and different people in different parts of the world, it's like, holy shit.
It's perspective.
I thought I was big shit in my bubble.
That's right.
And then, you know, I go somewhere else and I realize how other things go. But I'm so addicted to finding out like that part of it. And I can tell you right now, that camera has brought me more opportunities and years of experience, new industry. I have significantly collapsed the time that it takes to make something successful.
Yeah.
And I even measure this success different, but just the people I've met, the things that I've done, it has taken me places credit probably would never have. And credit has taken me to plenty of great places.
But let me also say this. Had you started the media company without having gone through what you went through on the credit side, do you think you would have been as successful as quickly?
As quickly, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely not. Would I be successful? Yes, because I'm delusionally confident in my ability to do whatever the fuck I want.
And just to kind of layman this, you went from starting a brand new business in an industry that is very frowned upon or seen as
Negative.
Absolutely. I call it the non-sexy. You went from not selling sexy and being successful at it to leveraging what you've learned, leveraging what you've accumulated over the years into now selling something that's sexy, which in my opinion should lead to a badass trajectory. And it is. It really is.
Yeah. And it's fast.
And it's pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to be a part of it. It's pretty cool to be a friend of someone that is doing things like that. And it also continues to motivate me in my journey to keep pushing forward, to keep leveraging, to keep exploring, keep getting in different rooms. You know, you never know what's going to happen when you're in that room, but I damn sure know what I'm going to do when I get in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Because so again, not to coin one of the phrases, it wasn't mine. Again, it was Wes. But this is probably one of my most favorite he's ever said, because it encapsulated everything, which brings me to the point of what I want to say. You could label this as person, just the way he said it was man. So build the man you admire, give that man to the world. Right. So, you know, you can say like, build the person you admire, give that person to the world. And so when you become obsessed with building the man, right, or building the person,
right,
now you understand that that is a endless journey, right? Because it's never perfect. You never stop building. But as you make progress, it'll be evident within the rooms that you get. And so then you realize with every new room that you're in, you're this great person that you developed. Right. But that is the base standard of everyone else in that room. So while it's a new accomplishment for you that you're at the peak of this thing, you're going to go into this new room where they're going to be like, oh, I remember when I used to think that was a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Oh, I remember when I used to, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what starts happening. And so any advice, there's rooms out there you can never imagine. There's people out there that do things that you can't put together in your brain.
Yeah.
And I've been slowly getting into better and better and better rooms, but I know that this is still like, I'm like a little dot.
Yeah.
Right. In the whole world of everything. And so it's cool to see where things have gone, but I'm excited to see where things go. And because I'm not destination focused on, I want to build the best me and I want to get it as soon as possible. That changed everything.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest advice is like, build the person you admire, give that person to the world, and understand that the journey never stops. I mean, it does when you die, but stop trying to retire at 35. Stop trying to do all this stuff sooner because you think the rest of your life is going to be like being lazy, because you develop these traits as a driven person.
Yeah.
And the driven people never stop. And so like even on vacations, when I chill out for a little bit more than a day, I freak out.
Right. Same here.
And I've now built that to where I'm like, no, I have to do something because I need like that dopamine hit to know that I'm being productive in effort to make either myself, my family, or somebody else better and progress them, because I've seen what it looks like now when you don't stop.
That's very true. Man, that's impactful. Very true. Right on the money with the time. Dylan, we'll finish it there. Thank you for joining me as
Thanks
always.
for having me.
Thank you for continuing to share your journey with our listeners. And again, I think that you guys out there, if there's anything advice I can give, it is in this discussion is focus on making those deposits. Focus on you as the individual in sharpening your crafts, making yourself the best you possibly can be, because you never know when the opportunity that arises that you never thought was going to be the case, that you're in the room, that you're the person that is providing that advice. And then that realization that, oh shit, I just gave that advice and it was from real life experience. Maybe I do know more than what I'm letting on. Maybe I can share more. Maybe I can help more people with just the words and going through my experiences with others that are not as experienced at the moment. But in essence, that conversation, that advice could open the door for somebody else that you never even imagined. Dylan, I wish you all the luck. I'm looking forward to doing some partnership work down the road. And as always, guys, thank you for liking, subscribing. And if you haven't, shame on you. Do it now. It's like down there or something. But we're back after 2 months off. It feels good to be back in this booth, talking to you guys, talking with my guests. And I promise to continue providing you with experts, just like Dylan here, that will give you real shit. That being said, we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
If you're still sending out pre-approval letters and praying your realtor send you the next lead, you're already behind.
Top producers are winning because they're giving their agents more than just rate sheets and donuts. They're giving them Loanbot. With Loanbot, you can offer realtors a white-labeled, co-branded digital mortgage tool that they send straight to their buyers. It's like giving them a mini loan officer in their pocket. Available 24/7, fully loaded, and branded with your name and their trust. Buyers can self-diagnose, compare loan programs, check real numbers, search properties, and explore down payment assistance without blowing you up at 10 p.m. And the best part? You see everything, every scenario, every lead, every milestone. You're looped in the whole way. Loanbot isn't a widget. It's the referral machine you've been waiting for. Here's the deal. Your realtors can get it from us directly for $9.99 a month. But it'd be in your best interest if they got it from you. Either way, they're going to get it. White-labeled, co-branded, transparent, and more.
Sign up for your demo with our team of innovators.